age, because the age has a way of connoting to wisdom. Okay, so I can relate one instant when I witnessed. I was 13 when Fred was coaching his sister and his brother Nestor in Rizal Memorial. This was in '69. This was in 1969. And he's a very, I observed and I noticed that he's a very silent coach on the deck. He doesn't shout, but he gets the message across with his brother and sister. And the following, in a few days after that, the weekend, there was a meet and his brother Nestor broke the Philippine record in the 200 back. And Nestor was, at that time, was telling me I was an up-and-coming swimmer. Hindi pala sinasabi sa akin ni Kuya na I was breaking the national record already in training. Just for me not to get excited or riled up, So I can't forget that, and I could still refer to that, and they have always been good friends. They have always inspired me, and swimmers here like Ral, we were young and up and coming at that time, to continue and pursue. And they played a lot of motivation and guidance for us also as swimmers. Okay, but in addition to that, I would like to read some of, if you don't mind, some of the accomplishments that Coach Fred Arzaga has had through the years. Medyo we should feel very proud because normally when we have clinics of this attendance, and I believe we're about 53, normally nangyayari lang to pagka yung clinic natin, foreigner ang dumadating. Okay? But we should treasure and we should value this because, for one, we have, Fred is one of us. Okay? Pinoy yan. Si Fred is from Dapitan. Dapitan, as you may not know, has produced a lot of champions. Lorenzo Cortez, Freddy Padilla. Not to mention the Arzaga family. And that doesn't even include Fred. Ang daming nang galing dun sa Dapitan. So, we should value this because Fred is a person who normally ang Filipino pag pumupunta abroad yan, the normal course of the Filipino or a person would be to veer away towards another source of income. But I was shocked and I was surprised when I learned that Fred continued on coaching. So not only did he continue coaching, but he was able to reach a greater plateau as compared to other coaches. So we should be very proud and we should be very lucky. And I think he would be the best example for all of us that Filipino coaches can move up. If the situation or the opportunity comes, I'm sure other Filipino coaches can move up and follow the same path. So we're very lucky. Palakpakan naman natin si Coach Fred. Okay, if I may, education. He was working on the Information Technology and Systems branch of Canada as a systems officer, where he was involved with the computer systems, structuring programmers and systems analysts. Okay, but his swimming background started in 1963 when he was one of those that was he was one of the swimmers tapped to train with the national training in preparation for the 1964 Tokyo Olympic Games. He became part of the national coaching staff in 1966 to train swimmers in preparation for the 1970 Asian Games and also the Olympic Games in 1968, in 1967 was the year that we sent a team to train in the United States. And probably I would say that that is the most successful Philippine swimming team ever assembled.
Nestor,
Leroy Golf. Yes, Aman Jalman.
That was at the time Aman placed 9th in the world in the 100 breaststroke.
And number 1 in the US.
No, not Rolando Del Rico. Rolando Del Rico was not part of the group.
Yes. Okay, so that was a very, very fruitful group, no? And Coach Fred was part of that at that time, and that gave him an opportunity to work already with world coaches. At that time, the coach also was Coach Trevor Alcantara.
Yes, Trevor.
No, it's yes.
Too old already.
Okay. As far as exposure and being associated with our American counterparts, no? Coach Fred has worked with coaches like Don Gambrill. These guys are institutions in swimming. No? Don Gambrill, Vic Hanula were well trained in Washington. He worked with George Haynes. That was the coach of Mark Spitz when he won the 7 gold medals. Dr. James Councilman, who's considered the father of modern swimming, of modern scientific swimming, and Australian coaches John Gregory and former Australian head coach Don Talbot. They were all under the coaches program. Okay. Back also in 1971, Coach Fred was a manager in the Philippine Colombian Association. In 1981, he started the Crest Swimming in Toronto, Canada. The aim, the goal of the club is to develop swimmers and to offer immigrant swimmers that just came into Canada and wanted to swim. Not only immigrant swimmers, but also later on they were dealing also with immigration. You were helping out Fred with the immigration. No?
Yeah, because my daughter is a lawyer.
Yeah.
Back in Toronto, and she works in tandem with Marilu. Marilu is handling immigration in New Zealand, Australia, and Canada. So both of them are working together. Although my daughter is a criminal lawyer, but she works with immigration too at the same time. I did not emphasize that because anyway.
But this is a striking resemblance because Marilu, his sister Marilu, who happens also to be a lawyer, was a national record holder in the backstroke. Christine Jacob was the one that broke her record, no, in the 100 back. And also the daughter of Coach Fred, also who happened to be a national champion also in Canada, also turned out to be a lawyer. So he doesn't only produce, siguro he's gone beyond producing and has entered into cloning. He can clone lawyers to become swimmers or vice versa. So it's something to take note of. When after establishing Crest Swimming, Fred was involved with the provincial and national age group programs, which produced senior swimmers that made it to the Canadian Nationals, the US Open, and the Olympic trials. So you could see right there that from a start, he was able to graduate swimmers all the way up to the senior level. Senior level is where Miguel Medina is right now. But to qualify and swim for the US Open and the Olympic trials, that's really something. Eventually, that led some of his swimmers to be swimming in the World Cup and the World Swimming Championships.
Chico Thompson was against one of the swimmers before. I didn't say anything about it, but she's a Filipino, Michelle Cruz.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they went against each other. Michelle was, I think, 56 or 57 at that time in in Sweden, I think the world champions for Sweden or Switzerland. I was not sure.
Okay. They were Division 2 and Division 1 team champions. Eventually in 1996, among his recognition with helping out the community and all, Coach Fred also won the Coach of the Year award in the province of Ontario, Canada, where he's based. He's actually based in Toronto. Okay. His enthusiasm to coach in swimming made him to continue learning and update himself by attending numerous ASCA and CSCTA seminars and conferences with notable coaches such as Eddie Reese, Dr. David Salo, Dr. Ernie Maglisco, Jim Fowley, Dr. Gino Tihani.
He's a Hungarian. Who's based in Canada. He's a child development, what do you call it, psychologist.
And he's had also the
He's the coach, by the way, of Alex Bowman, the former
Canadian.
Yeah.
And he's had the opportunity of also working with Pierre LaFontaine and John Albrecht, who's a physiologist.
Yeah, physiologist, yeah.
Okay, lately in 2003, as Fred already has mentioned, he tied up with the law firm of Sister Luz, together with your daughter, so it became a family affair, producing swimmers and lawyers. Okay, so without much further ado, I'll turn the floor over now to Coach Fred. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay. It's been more than, I guess, 30 years since I've been out of the country, although I've been coming back and forth once a year. And I know coaches in the Philippines need a lot of information. And become emotional like this because since 1990, I wanted to come in and try to get in. Try to support Philippine swimming, but it was difficult. You know, I don't know what attitude we had at the time, what kind of personality we had at the time, but it was very difficult because you come in and present yourself and they would inquire, who are you? It was difficult. But then my sister said to Fred, never mind about it. We'll just settle down, lie low, and we'll see what happens the next time. I know we have some friends in Philippine swimming, but we just didn't want to really make some scene there. The only purpose that I'd like to really relate to you guys is I have all the information. It was my dream. It was my vision to finish my studies in coaching. 1974, when I arrived in Canada, I thought swimming there was okay. Start your swim club, start your team, and you're in. But it was not that way. I inquired, I went to the Canadian Swimming Association in Ottawa, and then they have what we call the province. It's a state called Ontario. All right, Ontario is a province, it is a state if you would like to me mentioning it as a state, just like Michigan, it's just like saying California. So I went there, inquired, oh Fred, you got to go back to school, you got to go on the educational process in Canadian swimming. Canadian swimming started in 1970. When I said started in 1970s, because that's the start, they started glamorizing the title of swim coaches. They started the educational process at the time, unlike the United States. It was also just like here in the Philippines, coaches there during the time never studied. Okay, I was a swimmer, I can start the whole show. I can produce champions. It's just like Yano Tihani, Dr. Yano Tihani, who's a doctor of child psychology. He started with Alex Bowman. He started him at the age of 8. Training of Alex Bowman is different from the United States. It was a long haul. It was a long development plan, which is now Canadian swimming based on that theory. We never in Canadian swimming punish our swimmers. I've been around in the Philippines, started in 1988, went to different swim clubs, and I've seen the kind of training that we've been doing, guys. And even in 1969, when I started, where's the thing here? Okay. 1969, I never knew about swimming. When I trained my sister and my brother, there's nothing there. I never had any information at all, except with the help of my coach, Serafin Villanueva. He was at the time the auditor. He was an engineer. I think he passed away. I didn't even know until I came down in 1998. He was the auditor of PASA at the time. He helped me a lot. Gave me information and swim technique, the magazine. I cannot afford swim technique at the time. I cannot afford swim world at the time. He said, Fred, take this. And I even asked him, sir, congrats, your bonus. Hindi, ako ba yun siya? He gave to me. I studied all those things. In Canada, I continued my dream. It's a big, long journey. It was difficult because the training in the Canadian swimming is different from the United States. Level 1, I thought it was easy. I sat down and listened. Nakakadali naman yan. Alam ko na yan. Which is actually, a lot of Filipino coaches will say, kaya ko yan. Hindi naman. Pareho lang. Pareho din na ituro sa akin yan. Nalaman ko na yan. Nung maliit pa ako. It's basically that way. Because I've seen a lot of, not even Filipinos, I think. Because there's some Yugoslavian there. Because Canada is a diversified community. There's